Hello everyone, Mark here with Mark's Max Muscle, and today's video features a pretty interesting comparison between the two Shawns, Ray and Rhoden. Of course, I have my reasons for this comparison. In an interview on RX Muscle, which by the way I love, Dave Palumbo's awesome, Dave asked Shawn Ray if the 1994 version of him would have beaten Shawn Rhoden at the 2018 Olympia. Shawn answers, without question. This is what he says. Without question, I would have. Wow. What a cocky fellow he is. Don't get me wrong. Maybe he was better. Maybe he would have beat him easy. But an answer like that, it just kind of takes away from Rhoden's big win. So today we're going to see if Ray can put his money where his mouth is in an 8 mandatory pose-down showdown between these two titans. I replaced one pose of Shawn Ray with a 1995 Mr. Olympia showing. For some reason, I couldn't find a side tricep from the 94 Olympia. But he was such a constant that it really wouldn't make a difference. And Rhoden's picks, of course, are all from the 2018 Mr. O. So, without further ado, let's begin with the front double bicep. And I think one Shawn Ray underestimated how large Shawn Rhoden is. He has a few inches on him and a few pounds as well. Look at those abs. That skin looks outstanding. And not to mention that massive lat spread, I believe, is an advantage against Shawn Ray. But at the end of the day, we're going to be going with Shawn Ray on this one. Of course, look at those legs for the size of him. His proportions are just unbelievable. And his aesthetics with that vacuum pose, I believe, just slightly scores ahead of those incredible abs of Shawn Rhoden. And when you look at the biceps themselves, I believe Shawn Ray has an advantage as far as the hard graininess. Just looks like a real bicep. Anyway, we're it's much like a challenge round, so we're just going to give Shawn Ray a point here and then head on into the next pose. And it will be apparently the front lat spread. We're going to be leaning towards Rhoden in this one. Although I will say there are several qualities about Shawn Ray that I appreciate much better than the Rhoden front lat spread. But I must say that X-frame is just too hard to beat. It honestly is. It's just unbelievable. A very, very hard man to beat in this pose, especially in the 2018 Mr. Olympia event he was on. And just when you look at those legs, and then blooms up to that just massive front lat spread. But like I said, Shawn Ray does look fantastic, and I don't know, he has an advantage as far as the abs are concerned, for sure. But we are going with Rhoden in this one, and now we're going to see how these two gentlemen fare in the side chest. And don't look now, Shawn Ray fans, but you're not faring well at all against Shawn Rhoden in the side chest. In my opinion, there's just no way Ray can combat against the full roundness of that upper body. And when you look at the crisp sharpness of that conditioning of those glutes and just hamstrings and quads, Shawn Ray is in trouble. His cockiness may have got himself into some real trouble here. What an embarrassment if he were to lose. But having said that, there's plenty of poses to go. So let's have a look at this side tricep pose. And this was a humdinger of a decision for me to make. Now, I believe in the IFBB, the way they judge, then this one would probably go to Rhoden. His conditioning in the glutes is just too much for Ray to handle. But here at Mark's Max Muscle, if you're familiar with the challenge round and the side tricep, then you know I mainly focus on the side tricep itself. Unless, you know, it's a total blowout as far as the physique is concerned. And I do appreciate Ray's waistline much more. But other than that, I think Rhoden has every other muscle besides that side tricep itself, which I personally find Rhoden's tricep atrocious. I'm sorry, no disrespect meant to Shawn Rhoden at all. But wow. I'm going to lean towards Shawn Ray in this, but that explanation, went on a little bit long, but it was a hard one for me to make, hard decision for me to make. But anyway, it goes to Ray, so let's carry on. And here comes the back shots. The ones that Ray claimed there's no way Rhoden could stand next to him in either of the back shots. I guess he meant both back shots. But here in the rear double by, and I have to tend to agree to Mr. Shawn Ray. I believe he is superior to Rhoden. Now, they didn't really show their glutes like they do nowadays, but I believe if you take a good look there, Ray's glutes are pretty good condition, if you ask me. And besides that, when you look at the back, genetically he's just superior. When you look at the lower lat meat, reaches that lower back area. And I believe Rhoden always suffered in that region. And besides that, if you look at the hard graininess of Shawn Ray's back, there's no doubt in my mind who's winning this one. But there is one more back shot here in the rear lat spread. And in my opinion, Shawn Ray spoke too soon when he said that Shawn Rhoden could not stand next to him in the back shots. Because I believe that Shawn Rhoden is beating Shawn Ray easily, in my opinion. From top to bottom, Rhoden is just better. His traps are much larger and much more pronounced. And even the lower back seems to be in a little bit better condition here. Perhaps the edge in the lower lat meat on Ray, but much, much, much too small to combat against this Rhoden. Anyway, this is a very tight competition. So we're going to have these two gentlemen turn back around and have a look at the last two poses. And we're going to begin with the most muscular. And we're going with Shawn Ray once again in this. I believe that he is much harder and grainier. Perhaps a little bit better condition as far as this pose is concerned. Nice feathering there in the quads. Now there is two ways you could look at this now. There is a certain argument there. It says Shawn Rhoden perhaps could be the winner. If you look at the massive width of that clavicle and those massive cannonball delts there. But I believe this, just like I said, the hard conditioning there of Shawn Ray is just a little bit too much. But what a battle, back and forth, this whole competition. So it leads us to this, the final pose. And of course, this is a strong pose for both gentlemen, so what a fitting end. But it is a different era that these guys are from, and Shawn Ray's ab and thigh, in my opinion, is just too much for Rhoden to handle. Now, there is an argument there when you look at the thigh. When you break it down piece by piece, Rhoden may be in fact the winner. Rhoden never won his championships by piece by piece. He won it with aesthetic flow and just the whole physique. And when you do that with Shawn Ray, there's just no doubt in anyone's mind that he's the winner in this. You look at the waistline. So it was close here, and he did say he would win without question. But of course there is a question. There was a couple of close calls there in my opinion with I believe it was the side tricep and maybe even a couple other poses. But in my opinion, Shawn Ray does win. And having said that, when you break it down into the posing routines and things of that nature, well, there's no question Shawn Ray would win that. But his answer without question is a pretty cocky one at that. But he, I guess when you can back things up, it's not cocky, it's confidence. And Shawn Ray does exude confidence. And he is the winner in this one, in my opinion. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.